Australia and the USA are going to war. Games. Exercise Talisman Sabre 2025 is about to begin.
Minister, the Talisman Sabre War Games are next month. Do you know what the response from China in our waters will be and the scale of that response?
At previous iterations of Talisman Sabre, we've had the PLA Navy observing what we do, and so we're fully expectant that some version of that will happen when Talisman Sabre occurs.
Exercise Talisman Sabre 2025, or TS25, promises to be the most ambitious and strategically significant iteration yet of this biennial Australia-US defence partnership. Running from 13th of July to the 4th of August 2025, the exercise will bring together more than 35,000 defence personnel from 19 nations, a new record, to hone their multi-domain warfare capabilities spanning land, sea, air, cyber and space. TS25 is the 11th iteration of the exercise, and it's promising to be the largest so far. Today, we're going to talk all things Talisman Sabre, what it is, why the ADF does it, and what TS25 is going to be like this year. I'm Pikos, and today we're talking tactics. What is Exercise Talisman Sabre? Exercise Talisman Sabre is a large-scale biennial military exercise predominantly run by Australia and the United States. It's mainly hosted in Australia at ADF sites throughout Queensland, including Shoalwater Bay Training Area in central Queensland, as well as the Townsville Field Training Area and various Queensland ports. Key activities undertaken during the exercises include amphibious and airborne deployments, firepower demonstrations, and logistics for preparing, staging, integrating, and moving large forces. Importantly, it is one of the only opportunities Australian personnel get to operate in large multi-domain forces, and as such is an invaluable training opportunity for ADF officers in learning how to direct larger formations on a complicated battlefield. The exercise has traditionally focused on crisis action planning and contingency response, enhancing the US and Australia's military capabilities to deal with regional contingencies and the war on terrorism. However, in recent times, the exercise has taken on a focus on multi-domain warfare. It now concentrates on combined joint warfighting capabilities across all domains, including land, air, sea, space, and cyber. While Australia and US forces still organise and provide most of the resources for the exercise, the participation of other countries is becoming increasingly important. Why do we hold Exercise Talisman Sabre? To quote Vice Admiral Justin Jones, Talisman Sabre demonstrates our enduring alliance with the United States through deepening cooperation in training and force integration. It is a key opportunity to work with our partners from across the region and around the globe, demonstrating our combined capability to achieve large-scale operational outcomes together. Conducted every 2 years since 2005, Talisman Sabre is the United States' largest military exercise with Australia. The exercise helps ensure that US and Australian forces are able to operate effectively and strengthens the alliance between us and the US by having significant portions of our defence forces training together. With the focus of Talisman Sabre expanding beyond bilateral Australian-US cooperation, TS25 aims to strengthen relationships and interoperability between key allies and partners, contributing to a free and open Indo-Pacific. Our collective goal for Talisman Sabre 2025 is to build combined joint warfighting capabilities with allies and partners. We will continue to build on the success and lessons learned from Talisman Sabre 2023. It sometimes goes unsaid, but with China's military becoming more and more capable and its government becoming more aggressive within our region, it is more important than ever that Australia, the US, and other friendly nations ensure that their forces can work together in the types of warfighting scenarios we could well encounter in the near future. China sent a spy vessel to observe the last Talisman Sabre exercise, and the Australian government fully expects China to do something similar this time. What can we expect from Talisman Sabre 2025? Preparations for TS25 are well underway, with ADF units across Australia undertaking preparation work, getting them ready for the exercise. Outside of Australia, the forces of other nations are also getting ready for this year's exercise. Participating nations in TS25 include Australia, the United States, Canada, Fiji, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Japan, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, Republic of Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Tonga, and the United Kingdom. Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam will also attend as observers. One of the most interesting participants in this year's exercise will be the UK carrier strike group, marking the first time a British carrier will dock in Australia since 1997. HMS Prince of Wales will be supported by 2 Norwegian ships, as well as the Hobart-class destroyers, HMAS Sydney and HMAS Brisbane. Another rumoured addition to this year's exercise is the US's brand new long-range hypersonic missile system known as the Dark Eagle. These things can reach an incredible 6,000 kilometres an hour and have a range of close to 3,000 kilometres. It'd be great to see these things used in the field right here in Australia. What else can we expect to see from TS25? Without a doubt, there will be more guided missile systems on show at this year's exercise than ever before. We can expect ADF personnel to show off their new capabilities, National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System and the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System in live fire trials of the Precision Strike missile at the exercise. Amphibious capabilities and counter-breach landings are also expected to play a major role at TS25, continuing a theme from the previous Talisman Sabre exercise in 2023, where participants conducted amphibious insertions and beach landings. This focus makes sense, given that Australia, the US, and our allies are gearing up to counteract this type of combat during any possible invasions of Taiwan by the People's Republic of China from 2027 onwards. In addition to the training going on at Shalwater Bay and Papua New Guinea, the long-range fires missions, as well as some of the littoral and amphibious operations, will take place at the Bradshaw Field Training Area, south of Darwin. This is one of the only training areas in Australia that the HIMARS can truly stretch its legs. Also, in the Northern Territory, there will be urban and arid condition operations out of Mount Bundy Training Area, as well as lots of Air Force operations out of Tyndall Air Base. In WA, RAF Curtin, the Bear base in the north of the state, will be used as a rush setup, remotely operated airbase to train air crews and their ground support to work in austere and remote locations. In welcome news for all the diggers having to rough it in the bush for a couple of weeks, there have been upgrades to the facilities available to them during the exercise. Talisman Sabre 2025 will have many firsts. These camps will provide respite and fatigue management accommodation for exercise participants. Whilst canvas and hoochies will always form a part of how we train and fight, it doesn't hurt to have some basic creature comforts. Talisman Sabre Exercise Director Brigadier Damien Hill. These aren't just about making personnel more comfortable, it's also about critical safety, with fatigue management being highlighted as a factor in the fatal crash of Australian Army MRH-90 Taipan helicopter in at the last Talisman Sabre exercise in 2023. And of course, what modern military exercise could be complete without drones? Talisman Sabre has become a testing ground for various uncrewed aerial systems and unmanned ground vehicles over the last few iterations, and we can expect to see this ramp up in TS25. If you'd like to know more about Australia's drone capabilities, check out this video right up here. Are war games necessary? I'm interested to know what you think about Talisman Sabre. Are these the kinds of exercises the ADF and our allies should be focusing on? Should we be doing more than one major training exercise every 2 years? And does anyone actually know what the hell a Talisman Sabre actually is? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're going to watch Exercise Talisman Sabre 2025 closely. If there's enough material and you guys want it, we might do a special wrap-up episode after the exercise is done, where we look at some of the highlights and some of the new systems which were tested. And let me know if you're interested in seeing videos on other defense exercises like Exercise Pitch Black, Rim of the Pacific, Exercise Kakadu, or any others. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. That's it for today. My name's Pikos, and we've been talking tactics.